Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DJ Life podcast. As always, we have myself, DJ Rick Webb, and we have the dude with glasses who's trying to update everybody that we are on the podcast live right effing now.
Bow, bow, bow. I'm her.
Tyler, it's your night to shine. We're answering questions only. He's actually 100% correct.
Unless there are no questions.
Unless there's no questions.
And then I'm going to have to talk about whatever the fuck comes to my mind.
So while we're waiting on questions, let me plug the fact that if you are listening to the podcast right now, know that we do this podcast live on YouTube on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you wish to ask us questions, you can do so live at any point in time.
Ooh, Tyler, don't ask a question like that. We have friends. We can't say things
did we
like
get
that.
suckered into DJ? Why would we get suckered into it?
Yeah, that's a rude question.
You should have just asked if we signed
over.
up. Did we sign up for DJC mentorship? No.
I did not.
No, we did not.
I am lucky enough to have all of their cell phone numbers
In my phone.
And if I,
Have a question.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it yourself. I have no idea. It's none of my business. They're the best of the best. So it is what it is.
And it is a good diversity of group too. Yeah. Like you got Joe Bun, who I would say runs more like just a large multi-op that W9s a lot of people. Then you got Brian, who runs a traveling luxurious travel company where they travel all over, and then you got Jason Jana, who runs a high-end multi-op in New Jersey with almost probably 20 plus DJs.
Yeah, I mean,
at
really,
this point, so
if you're in the event industry, regardless of the approach that you're taking with your business, one of those dudes has an answer you're looking for. So
yeah, just they all three have different approaches to it, and they all three have successful businesses.
Right. And the pricing that I heard, which I won't repeat in case it is wrong.
Well, it is now because they closed it on Monday, and now the price is going to be higher.
Well, it should. I mean, the price that I heard for what they were doing was actually I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that.
That was the price, but it's no longer going to be the price.
Even it could be double before I would be like, oh, okay,
Any New Year's resolutions for what you guys want to do with your businesses?
I just want to become like Rick. God, Rick is he's got his squad.
Structured.
I just don't have a squad. There was a time I had a squad.
We got
and
us.
now I feel, and if they're if the people who are on my squad are listening, you guys have got to know what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you.
I don't feel like I have a squad anymore.
My squad is extremely happy because we had our one-to-ones today, and I told them what their bonuses are at the end of the year, which were in the contract, and
they were like, "Yay!"
No, their So I calculated their bonuses at the beginning of the year on what I thought we would do, and then we did 270% more than what I thought we would do.
Well, that's great.
All of them are getting 4 figures on their almost actually no, 2 of them are getting 5 figures on their checks for bonuses, which is insane.
I'll have to ask exact numbers about that later because that is one of the details I'm trying to implement that is more solidified. Bonuses at the end of the year, I do give bonuses, so at least there's that. But it's just how happy is Erik with you? That is literally the extent of why the bonus is the size it is. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So on my end, New Year's resolutions for the business, more documentation and more people. 1, we're bringing on more people. 2, more documentation, more processes, more systems, and more KPI measuring. That's the biggest focus for next year.
Yeah, I mean I don't do any KPI measure. Well, that's not true, but I don't do any super official KPI measuring, and there are 4 to 5 categories that if you're not doing it, really you're just not with it like that. And I could at least be doing the bare minimum.
What would be your first song for 2024 after? Other than
we'll go down the way. We'll go down the way. But I want to finish New Year's resolution. And
you're still on it?
Yes, I'm still on
goddamn.
Yes. To or one really big thing. All right, so now you think about how we have these automated sequences for follow-ups, right? Okay, we know new lead comes in. We're going to email you immediately. We're going to email you in a day. We'll email you in 7 days. We'll email you in 28 days. Whatever the fuck it is. You have a sequence that is a defined process. I want to have a defined process, and this is on my 2024 list, a defined process for the entire year of vendor networking. And it's not my automated shit because, yes, I do a lot of automated vendor networking and it works great. But I want to take it a step further, like Rich and
Lang.
No, not Rich Lang. Was talking about at DJ Collective. Marcellus is in there with me. You didn't go. It was on networking basically, and what they do and how they take advertising dollars, put it into networking.
Oh, you're talking about Moneyball. Moneyball. I was there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was there. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And something like that, and just have an identified sequence to the year, and have your vendor spreadsheet, have your coordinators, your photographer, whoever the fuck, and just do whatever that. And so then after a full year of that, you can get some data and begin to pull the levers and measure what's working. So I want to get that ball rolling.
The next kind of question right below that was from Tyler, basically, what is the goals for your business in 2024? And I'll say I have no clue yet what they are.
For once, I can say I per branch, I am always trying to increase in a year by $200,000 revenue. That's like so 5 years, hit $1 million is like the game plan. So that's the goal. Add $200,000 per year in total revenue. Not profit, by the way, if anyone's getting that mixed up. I'm just talking about total sales.
Yeah, 3.5.
All right, so Even Gents, what would your first ever 2024 song after New Year's Eve song you're going to play? It's funny you asked that.
Other than the...
Yeah, no, it's the follow-up song.
Yeah,
and if that's not what he's asking, that's what he should be asking.
That's definitely what he's asking.
So after the countdown, if for any reason you happen to nail the countdown, which I would always butcher it back in the day, I would always butcher it. But what's the follow-up song? I remember one time when Dow Oak was brand new, I got all my DJs New Year's gigs because we just didn't fill up on New Year's, whatever. And but I still had all my club connections and bar connections, so it was easy for me to get them all bar gigs, which they're not used to, right? Mm-hmm. So Cameron, who's this girl that used to DJ for me, she's left a while ago, but she went, and we're all texting each other because this is back in the day when we were all homies, like to the core. We're texting about what song did you play or what are you about to play, and Cam's not responding. She's like, she's never had to do DJ for a bar before, so she's probably like a wreck right now because she's having to mix so much, anyways. So I think Graham was like, I played Jump Around. I think I had played My Own Worst Enemy. Maybe I don't even really remember.
If you're doing a wedding, it really depends on what
it wasn't. It was all bars.
Well, it depends on what your age group is.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Either way, but those are two fine songs. Like what would you have dropped?
I don't know. Like
there's a punchline. I have a punchline coming.
Well, see, I'm actually thinking about this now because I'm probably going to be DJing the set on our live stream. If you didn't know, we're doing a live stream 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel for New Year's, sponsored by Bowflying, all that bullshit. But I'll probably be DJing the set at New Year's.
Right.
And I'm sitting there at my head going like, if you put me on the spot right now, I'd probably drop Narcos.
Narcos. I actually don't.
Timmy Turney or Timmy Trumpet.
I don't know that song. I got nothing.
Narcos.
I don't know.
It came out 6 years ago.
It's a rap song?
No, it's dubstep.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. So punchline of
I
that.
think that would just be cool.
Punchline of that whole story, how I got a bunch of wedding DJs that were only wedding DJs, a bunch of bar gigs. She goes, I dropped About the Bass All About the Bass by Meghan Trainor. And also, one note about the version of that, because that song is not hyped at all. First off, that is the worst choice I've ever heard. There's probably worse choices, but that is a very bad one. But she had the Ultimix Records extended edit version, which has literally like 2 minutes of intro on it, and she just dropped it from the beginning.
Oh, not at a chorus.
It was just at the drums. There's like fucking, like I said, there's like 2 minutes of drums and build up and blah blah blah.
I'm gonna find the chorus. Years ago, but it's popping off now again because of viral on TikTok, and I love it. I've been dropping it at weddings, and like people are losing their shit. So
Yeah, I mean, one of those big room.
would have gone to the
big room
celebration.
house mixes, whatever.
Oh God!
but
What?
yeah,
What?
she-
Narcos is fire. Yeah, Tyler's got it.
That-
I wonder what is top of the charts right now. See, I never pay attention to the charts. Mostly because the charts have been ass this whole entire fucking year. Let's be honest.
But yeah, as for goals, DJ Business 2024, we were just talking about virtual assistants downstairs.
Oh,
right
drop
before
Cruel
this.
Summer. Cruel Summer's #1 right now. Taylor Swift.
Cruel Summer. I don't even know that song. I don't know any of this bullshit.
I-
I don't
I-
fucking care.
It's not a dancing song, but Taylor Swift is so fucking popular right now that you drop it at any wedding, and like if there are Taylor girls in there,
Honestly,
they
though,
lose their fucking mind.
I do believe that, but the following song for right after New Year's, even Taylor Swift, that's not right. That's just
I
not.
agree.
That's not the
agree.
vibe. It's not. You could pull her. You Shake It Off, probably her biggest song to date.
What-
Probably.
What I'll end up playing is I'll probably go onto DMS the night of or the night before, find whatever the best Fat Man Scoop drop is.
That's
where
that's
it's like
what
10, 9,
yeah, and it's just like
Happy fucking New Year.
yeah, or Little John or whatever it is. Excuse me. And those are good. That's what I would play too. But that only wraps up until the countdown, and then you have to choose your song.
I think it's not necessarily about the first song. It's about your set. It's more about like song 2 and 3. Like how are you gonna continue that energy into song 2 and 3?
I don't know. My Own Worst Enemy is the perfect follow-up song for that, because the guitar comes in, it's just iconic as fuck. You know it's about to be hype, and then it drops. Everyone loves that song too. You know what I mean?
You might be getting old.
You know the song, right?
You might be getting old.
You know the song though.
I do, but you might be getting old.
It doesn't. It's
'Cause-
not a dated thing. It's almost irrelevant. Like all the small things, even though very dated song, would also be the perfect song.
No.
It's about the intro and the energy.
Okay, well, let me clarify. I'm thinking about the party we're gonna have, which is gonna have. I will probably be one of the oldest people at the party. So I'm tailoring it to a bunch of very 21, 22, 23-year-olds. Those songs would not work for them.
They definitely would.
No.
It'd be different if you were digging. If you were pulled out like My Chemical Romance, that wasn't nearly as popular. As popular as it was, not even close to All the Small Things. Everyone knows that song. I just don't believe it.
I'm just saying, as a first song after New Year's, they'd probably be looking at me weird, like, is this really DJ Rick Webb?
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
That's some stupid little
Anyways, back to
beep boop crap, whatever. All right.
tell Eric to go to Action Coach, says DJ Pilo.
I've been to Action Coach with him before.
He went to a monthly event. He went to the quarterly event, which is definitely the most in-depth one. But you also don't like group settings, so
I mean, I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
you did text me and like, they have wine. What ?
Oh, well, that just caught me off guard. I didn't know where you
quarterly
guys
sessions do.
were when you tagged me on that status, Patrick.
Do you call him Patrick or Pilo? I call him Pilo.
I call him Pilo with Patrick. I don't know. Patricio.
Patricio.
I was hanging out with him in Atlantic City, and we had a night, right? And I was very obviously having a night, and I remember yelling Patricio across
Patricio.
It was loud where we were.
Let's see here. Let's go to Carlos. Do I still do gig logs? Yes, I do. Check out my channel. I posted one last week. Last week, and I'm posting another one tomorrow.
We appreciate you, DJ Drizzy Dre.
Oh, Domino's, baby. Got them ads.
Yeah, ever since our shit became monetized or whatever,
It catches you off guard.
it does. It really does.
We should really just say fuck it and turn it off because I think we've made not even $1.
$6, yeah.
I don't think we've made $1, honestly.
Yeah, who cares? Whatever.
Let's see. What is the best record pool for Latin American and American jams? Honestly,
I actually don't know the best for Latin music.
I don't.
You should ask a specific Latin club DJ, like someone who actually purchases their music, because I don't.
I'm gonna give two.
I could probably find out the answer if I hit Facebook.
Club Killers. I believe Club Killers has a Latin Club Killers.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, I think they have a Latin club.
Well, if
so
they
I'm just thinking about what I got from Bar because I got Bar to send me all of his Latin crates.
Person to know. Yeah,
he sent me all of his Latin crates, and I saw a lot of Latin Club Killers tags on their shit.
Yeah.
But Direct Music also puts out a fuck. I don't know if it's any good because I'm not a Latin DJ, but I know Direct Music puts out like a fuckload of Latin music because I just skip it.
All of those though, DMS and Club Killers both. Yes, they release remixes, but it's pretty much just extended edits. You know, I mean, you can safely bet it's the song still.
Yeah, a lot of it's more.
If it's gonna be some crazy remix, it'll be titled correctly, and you won't be.
Which honestly, a lot of that just music shit now. It really doesn't matter if you get the extended or if you get if it doesn't even matter if you get DJ'd now with stems.
That's true.
Yeah, you can literally use the original
stems. I need to.
I got a new laptop on order.
I need
I'll
to
start
DJ
stems
again.
then.
I have a laptop good enough for stems. I just don't have software that uses it.
Would you DJ on a cruise ship?
We actually talked all about that on a previous podcast, Alex.
The answer is like yes, no.
The answer is it sounds fun,
but it also sounds like a lot of work.
Well, also, I mean, I have like a child and a family, and it literally is your whole life. Like you have to go on a 2-month-long or 3-week-long, whatever it is, vacation in a nutshell, and I literally can't leave my house. So,
Dustin, I'm moving to the fiance to Kansas City. I'm moving the fiance to Kansas City.
Blah blah blah. All right,
from Omaha. Needless to say,
why is it so hard to read?
Do you recommend running the company in Nebraska and Missouri, or it should just run in Missouri?
If you can handle more, then do more. I don't know.
I don't know if his question is about like running or taxes or what.
Yeah, I don't really understand what you're asking. If your question is just simply like, should I be DJing in both states or just one state? I don't know. If you could do both, why not?
If you're moving, unless you time it absolutely perfectly correctly and don't take on more bookings, it's really hard to not have to travel back for a few to make the transition. But yeah, if you can do both, Why not? If it's worth the money.
Yeah.
I did go to our events this year. I plan to jump into marketing for next year. What do you think should be the first steps or marketing platforms you suggest?
So this is Jeffrey B asking basically where to put some advertising dollars after you're pretty booked out with just word of mouth. I will say I fucking hate when people on Facebook, I actually just was making fun of people the other day. The status is asking exactly what you're asking, basically like where is a good place to spend money for leads, and all these asshole DJs pop in and they're like word of mouth. Like, motherfucker, that is not the question. Like, I realize that you book gigs just off of word of mouth. Shut the fuck up. That is not something I can purchase, and it even kind of is, but like you have to.
There's things.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. That's not what the question is, though. Like, I suggest. Well, you don't even have that many options in the wedding industry. Well,
there's like 3.
In the wedding industry, you can go to The Knot. You can go to
/ Wedding Wire.
You can go to Wedding Wire. There's some others, but I don't really fuck with them like that. Like Zola, I've heard can be good for photographers, but I've never heard someone say that for DJs. I've heard people swear by Bark. Obviously, or not obviously. I'm sorry, that was rude. But I don't use Bark. That's it. I don't have any experience with that.
I bet 336 DJs use Bark.
He probably does use Bark. But either way, and then Google ads, of course,
and Facebook,
and social media. Probably
Facebook, Instagram,
probably better Instagram,
Google. Yeah, those are my 3 recommendations. I don't know what's first because it depends on your area. Like, if you look on your area and there's not many people in Wedding Wire than not, it's probably a reason for it because it's not as valuable. But it also could be an opportunity to jump on there for cheap and pick up some gigs.
Yeah, but like Columbia, which we do, and I think...
And so do we.
You're in Columbia now?
Yeah. We've been in Columbia all year.
Oh, well, we're probably the only Spotlight accounts.
You are, because we didn't even pick one up.
Yeah. And it's...
We're a featured, and I say the same thing. I'm like,
meh. Yeah. But Jersey, where I'm spending
gazillions
amounts of money, it's proportional. In a nutshell, it is proportional. And I hate all these other DJs on Facebook. You fucking morons. It's like they set you up with fake leads so that you'll buy their shit. No, they fucking don't. It's just that bots and scammers
exist.
They exist, and they see an outlet to scam you, and that is the outlet. It's not like Wedding Wire's like, how do I get scammers on my website? You fucking idiot.
Anybody that says that Wedding Wire the Knot is a losing money battle
is just
they don't
honestly
understand how to funnel leads.
Well, it's just someone who's not. First, all right, there are different reasons to why that potentially is true. If your intro price is, let's just say it's $10,000 for like reception only, that you're expensive and you probably shouldn't be looking for leads on Wedding Wire. They're looking for middle tier, bottom tier, maybe even premium, but not like mind-boggling premium. Mm-hmm. But Google Ads, The Knot, Wedding Wire, if you're in the wedding industry.
Joey would like to know how you and me became pros at DJ EP and Honeybook, and if we hired someone.
So
grind, baby.
Yeah, I just nerded out on it a long time. I made all the, me doing it first was kind of like what boosted my career so much is making all the workflows that caught on and everyone that started working for everyone. So
I'm about to pull up the book recommendations in a second, but what DJs inspired you, Eric?
So the first DJ I saw that made me actually want to be a DJ was DJ Craze. He is a turntablist. He used to be I think he was in the Scratch Pickles, if you follow turntablism, from like the late 80s. But he was doing a video for Tractor, and he had like samples from A Milli and some dubstep shit, and I remember seeing that on gold turntables, and I went and bought turntables and Serato like immediately. And I was a drug dealer, straight up at the time, so I didn't really have any bills. I was paying my bills with shit like that, so I had just all the time in the world to hang out and DJ. So I got pretty good pretty quick because I just like practiced for like 14 hours every single day.
So Dustin asked book and podcast recommendations going into the new year. I'm just going to go through anybody listening to this right now. If you have not read these books, or if you want to jump on Blinkist and get the recommendation on just like the blinks of them, these are just common books that I think anybody should go.
Hold on. Before you say a fuckload of books, say your top 3.
I am. I'm about to say 'em.
Oh,
I'm not going to say a fuckload of books.
okay. I thought you were about to go down a list.
No,
Just
no.
the way
I'm
you were
looking,
prepping with
no,
your
I'm looking
thumb.
through my list and pulling out the ones that I've actually pulled off good info from.
My top 2, because really only 2 even come to mind, because I'm not really an audio.
They're probably
kind
the
of person.
two that are already on my list. To go
Profit First is
Okay.
one that's super important, and then How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, I thought you were about to be like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
No, well, Rich Dad Poor Dad would probably be number 3.
They Ask You Answer, Marcus Sheridan.
That's a good one.
Amazing book. The 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. That is a excellent book to be reading. These aren't as important. Think and Grow Rich, great one.
That's a good one.
The 80-20 Principle, Richard Kalk.
I actually need to read that one.
And then conveniently, these 2 books just joined Audible or Blinkist. $100 Million Leads by Alex Ramosi and $100 Million Offers by Alex Ramosi. Both of them excellent reads.
I canceled my Blinkist membership until further notice. I'll come back, but for now, I hadn't listened to an audiobook in 6 months, so.
Both of those last 2 books, I actually got the full audio version because I follow Alex Ramosi on YouTube, and I wanted to see, like, I watch his videos and stuff, and I wanted to hear his books. So now they're on Blinkist too, which is pretty dope. But yeah, $100 Million Leads is his first book. $100 Million Offers is his second book, and they are excellent.
So, 2 things. First, Pilo said after Auld Lang Syne. Is that how you say it? Auld Lang Syne? The song, the New Year's song.
Okay.
He said after that, I play 3 Pitbull songs and go home. That's funny. Pitbull is Mr. Worldwide. God bless him for saving the dance floor for all of us. Tyler Sherman, who's in here, on Instagram. Do you follow him on Instagram? Have you ever seen his stuff ever?
I'm
he
on
does
social media, but I'm not on social media.
If you're into EDM type of stuff, and I think that's what it is. It looks like that type of event. He does some big fucking shit like that. It's actually, I was looking through his Instagram and I was like, holy fuck, what the hell? I was like, I've never done anything like this. You know, I was like, hell yeah. Maybe we'll have Tyler. Maybe we'll have you on here. You can give some people some advice.
Do you
how they
still
can
remember
be a
your
big-time
first controller, and do
EDM.
you still use it? It's a Hercules 4 set was mine, and I couldn't even tell you where it is. I think I sold it, or I threw it in the trash, or I broke it, or smashed it in a video.
I had turntables.
No, I gave it away. That's right.
I started with turntables, and then my first controller was a Tractor S4, which is still what I use today.
The not support changed my storefront description to broken English. Honestly, you should leave the whatever they put it to.
They actually did the same shit to me.
It's
it wasn't broken English, so that's terrible.
It does suck.
But I contacted them about that, and they said it was for SEO reasons. And I said, I actually know a whole lot about that subject, and no, it's not. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking.
I'm going to be honest.
Don't ever change my shit again.
It's probably broken English because they use ChatGPT now.
It was literally whatever. Oh, it's for shut the fuck up. Don't change my fucking bio. So yeah, that happened to me too, and I was pissed. But they kind of have a monopoly on what's going on here.
A lot.
So you guys can fight the not wedding wire all you want, but you're just whatever.
They did buy us dinner at DJC, and it was the worst dinner ever.
Was that sponsored
by
them?
Wedding Pro? Wedding Pro is the one that put on that dinner.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Well, to be fair, they've put on good stuff before.
They have.
That was just a nightmare.
Well, either of you ever write a book? I'll probably do a ghostwriter at some point.
I will not. I've thought about hiring a ghostwriter or just like using AI to write a book many times, but probably not. People know I'm kind of not like about to write a fucking book.
I will probably once, probably like 5 to 10 years. I'll probably have one because by that point, like what you just said, AI and everything will be good enough that Anybody can write a book.
So my best friend, in early high school wrote a book, and I remember him being like, "Yo, dude, like I just finished the book finally." He'd been talking about it for literally years, and he's like, "All right, I finished it. Read it." And I was like, "Ooh." Like, I don't really like to read like that.
Is
It
it
was
on
like
Blinkist?
400 pages book. It was
just be like, can you get it on Blinkist real quick?
Can
I'll
you give
listen
me
to it.
Spark Notes?
If you put it on Blinkist, I'll listen.
Oh, trust me, I had the Spark Notes. But he wrote a fucking novel. It was like a Harry Potter book, and like one of the later ones too. It was like super long. I was like, "There's no chance."
So Benny's got a good question. What do you think the hardest part of owning a business is? I have my answer.
I mean, I can speak on the hardest part in the moment, but I feel like for me, that has changed as I've gone along.
I'm going to say the hardest part still to this day is knowing that if anything goes wrong, it's still your fault. It doesn't matter who did it, what system, what equipment, it's still your fault.
Yeah, well, it's mutual responsibility. Like, yes, if a DJ bombs a wedding, it's that DJ's fault.
You have to stand on the sword and take the blame.
Correct. But it's the DJ's fault. And it is 50%.
Internal versus external. But I'm just saying, as a business owner, externally, you have to stand on the sword and swallow your pride and tell any issue, any problem, it's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard thing to do. Or it's a hard thing to wire your brain to do it because you instantly want to blame.
Yeah, it's hard if people accuse you of basically doing bad business and you're offended because you're truly trying to do good business. You know what I mean? You're not a thief. You're not whatever. That can be a pretty big blow sometimes, and sometimes is hard to deal with.
And maybe also accepting that no one will give more than probably 70% of the energy I will give to the business.
You'd be so lucky to find someone at 70%.
Yeah, more like 60, 50.
I know. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, God, Lindsay, bless her heart, obviously, but like sometimes I just want to I'm just like, God, why do I have to tell you to do these things? Just
if you find someone,
like, don't you care?
If you hire someone for your business and you think they're giving like 80% of the energy you would give to the business, keep them with all you can because it is hard.
Yeah, it sucks that Graham Bloss didn't say his full name. Graham fucked off on drugs because he truly cared. While he was with me, we were teammates. I truly was prepared to do what it took. You know,
and it felt like he was too. He was right there beside you the whole time.
And then it, whatever, he made his decisions. But fuck, I haven't found that again. He
was as JSG presented. He was a number 2. He was an excellent number 2.
And I was all down. It was so I don't even call people like that employees or like, oh, he works for me. He works with me. You know what I mean? I consider those people on my same level,
Tyler's hardest part of owning a business, finding good people who take ownership to work for you.
Yeah.
I can agree.
Yeah, that's probably the truth.
How do you find a right hand or that first DJ sub to grow your business? I don't think anybody can answer that question.
Yeah, I mean,
you just gotta be putting it out into the world. That's what you're looking for, and eventually you'll find somebody.
Yeah, what is it when opportunity meets luck or some shit? Opportunity meets something. Preparation meets opportunity.
The best example of like trying to find the right fit for your business is you got to put it out into the world of what you want. And one of the best examples, my coach Marianne talks about it all the time when she's talking to other people, and I've seen her do it for coaching, is like, if you're looking for an employee, right? And she used the analogy, if you're single, right, and you're looking for a spouse, and you tell me, well, I'm just looking for a spouse. What are you looking for in a spouse? I want her to just, be caring and loving. You don't know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, I want a blonde with blue eyes, around this height, making this much money, that likes this thing. You need to know all the things about what you are looking for. And you put that out into the world, telling people constantly. And then, someone might call you and be like, hey, so-and-so is looking for a job, and what you were talking about looking to hire might be the great fit for you. You got to put out into the universe and tell everybody what it is you're looking for, and magic things happen. When people know you're looking for something, they start to look for it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like some of the best employees that come to companies is through that sort of avenue where they tell all of their other business owners, other DJs, other people that they're looking for XYZ in a DJ to bring on. And then they, someone suggests it. And voila. It's like if you're selling something, if you're selling something, you're telling like all your friends, hey, I'm selling this. And then voila, they start asking the people they know that might want it. And then voila, you find the right buyer for what you're looking for.
Right. Yeah. Opportunity meets preparation.
Mm-hmm.
David asked forever ago, even though Wedding Wire and the Knot work, a lot of people hate it. What do you think What do you think a new company would need to compete against them? So it's like a fucking.
Oh God.
This is just what I think, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. It's a whole SEO game, right? So like everyone is already on Wedding Wire and the Knot. Like every vendor, other than your couple douchebags, but whatever. But let's say. I actually have a buddy, Anthony, who was just last week on our podcast. Mm-hmm. He started a competitor company that was similar, basically. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. Henry did their website and SEO and shit. Cool. But the problem, and it might be profitable, but it doesn't hold up to Wedding Wire and the Knot because they were first. It now is a monopoly, and it would take like a group effort from all the clientele to cancel all their accounts and pull their SEO juice basically off of the website and put it elsewhere for that website to win. It won't happen. So it just will not happen.
If I were to think about how Wedding Wire and the Knot operates right now, what makes them stand out, and how a competitor would enter the system, one, they need a fuckload of capital. Like a fuckload, like hundreds of millions of dollars of capital. And what they need to do is create an amazing planning software for brides to use, like an app like Vibo. Market the living goddamn shit out of that motherfucker and get hundreds of thousands of brides on their platform. Then have vendor referrals.
What you're saying,
and it's so far out there.
It's gonna take a paradigm shift.
Yeah,
in
seriously.
Where leads come from for them to lose. Like
it's going to take hundreds of millions of dollars. Like that's what it's going to come down to because it's all about marketing dollars. If they can create, it doesn't even have to be better.
As long as a lead is using Google to find a wedding vendor, the Wedding Wire and the Knot are going to win.
Well, no. See, this is where I think a lot of us have been wrong. It's not the SEO that makes them strong. It's actually having software for the brides and grooms to use. I've learned this through going through my wedding. Is that all the brides recommend to use the Knot, to use Wedding Wire for your planning.
Right. And
then they have the customers for the people.
Yes, and that is solidifying everything, but they've already won. They won a long time ago. It's not that keeps them where they need to be. No one's branching off. You don't have a group of brides that are like, this is seriously inconvenient. It checks their boxes, so they're going to use it. So until like you said, it's going to take like almost a paradigm shift. Like let's say for whatever reason, it's so easy to find wedding DJs on TikTok, and that for whatever reason,
it's going to take a lot of marketing.
Yeah, they're not going to fucking
because weddings are on a cycle, I think it literally will come down to someone with a product that has hundreds of millions to spend in marketing to get brides on their platform and not go to Not in the Wedding Wire. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah. So Dustin said currently reading some shit.
He's reading a book.
Reading a book, and Mike Walters, Running Your Multi-Op. I read that one time, How to Run Your Multi-Op, I think something like this. I can't remember the title of the book. I think he has more than one book.
He has like 3 or 4 now.
But I'm pretty sure that was the same one I read. And I mean, everyone knows Mike Walter is like the GOAT for like a long-standing multi-op, so I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I know better than you or anything like that. But I listened to the book, and yes, his way would make. It works. It fucking obviously works because look at his shit. You know, it'll make rock solid employees all day long. Mm-hmm. It just because I was introduced to the whole DJ industry, like my company started getting busy really in like 2020 and COVID. His methods that he was teaching were too slow to bring on new talent for me. And that at least, that's kind of wrapping up at this point. So we might have a shift on the way. But for the last 3 years, that was not even close to fast enough to hiring. I had to hire very fast.
I wonder if they asked Mike Walter to be part of their collective group. I feel like he's in that clique pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have put him if I'm thinking like, well, maybe not now, but when I first heard of the collective, I would say that Brian. I had never heard of Brian Bonacisi, but I had Mike Walter. Fucking duh, you know what I mean?
Brian was the brains behind DJ Collective.
No offense to Jason and Joe, but Brian is a fucking genius. And yes, you know, like that dude is just on another tier.
Yeah, if you want to do like sales, operation, marketing, Brian was the marketer. Like he was
I feel like anything.
Or
he's
the
just
sales. Like he's just
fucking guy.
He's the CEO of the group.
He really is. He's very inspiring. Anytime you're around him, you feel uplifted, kind of. He's just one of those people. Brian is
very positive.
Oh, yeah. Brian, I've never been, like, bummed out to be near Brian. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely just positive energy, genius. Anyone he's like, oh, you should meet this person. It's probably the coolest person you've ever met. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Let's scroll down. So Mike Walter.
That's all the way to the bottom.
Oh, that's it.
We're caught up in the chat, which means we need more questions.
Yeah. So if you have any more questions, honestly, so far these questions have been really awesome.
Yeah. And shout out to the 17 people that have been on your live. That's literally the most we've had in quite a while.
Yeah, this is great. Well, honestly, it's our own fault. Like we've been slacking.
Yeah, we've been slacking.
It's just the not consistent thing, you know, when we like randomly skip a week here and there, which has been fine. Like I'm not saying you've had to for whatever reasons, but we should consider that.
I'm definitely putting more, not just the podcast, but into my YouTube schedule, my Instagram schedule, the podcast, YouTube, Instagram. You know, it's a thinking forward time of year of planning goals and stuff like that, and both of those platforms for me are they're more important than I thought they were. Mm-hmm. When I started to like actually think more into the numbers of like what generates what, my YouTube is actually extremely powerful in many different ways, and letting it slip is just like not an option.
Right.
And, you know, I had my priority list, and after reconsidering it over the last year and talking to my coach, YouTube actually should be probably my number one, if not my number two priority every single day, over some of the things that, you know, this generates money instantly, mm-hmm. but this is more important for long term.
Right. Maybe it's time. Maybe that's my 2024 goal. Maybe I should finally start a YouTube channel.
We're talking right now about starting actually posting YouTube content more aggressively for Fusing, for Greensboro Holiday Lights, and Bow Lighting. It's such a powerful outlet to connect with people but YouTube is like education forward. Like you have to be doing educational stuff. When starting a company, do you recommend LLC or S Corp? LLC at first, then go to S Corp.
So, all right, hold on. I'm gonna skip down. So Eric convinced me I should spend as much as I possibly can on the knot, since I literally spend $0 in marketing currently. 8 DJs in my multi-op. I mean, if you can keep 8 DJs busy with $0 invested into advertising, I don't know if that makes more overhead in another category, but if you're just rolling out 100% profit, no, do that. Do what you're doing. You know,
talk to who, give me the names of the 2 guys that did the Moneyball presentation.
Rich and John. I can't remember their last names.
Rich and John.
Rich Cranston, I want to say.
That sounds about right. You need to talk to them about what they do, their strategies, because they don't do wedding wear in the knot. They don't do Facebook ads. They don't do Google ads.
We'll get their asses on here. They were so smart. They were inspiring. They were so smart with this topic.
If you want to talk about, like, they take, like what Eric said, they take networking with vendors and turn it into a system.
I'm literally messaging Rich right now.
Dude,
to see if we can get him on here.
I think one of the most, like, oh my God, that's so fucking genius moments for me, which was like the whole entire presentation they did, but when they talked about how they recruited, so they're up in New York, right?
Yep, Rochester.
They're in Rochester. They talked about, and you got Matron D's up there or whatever. You guys might know that or not. But he talked about how they recruited people out of college or that were in college that were like getting event management degrees to be their assistants. And then once they got their degrees, they got them into venues to work. And what companies were they recommending for DJs? It was their fucking company because they worked an internship with them. It was it was like, wow. They're literally training people as assistants in their DJ company that then they place them into venues to work venues in terms of bookings and sales. It was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just on another tier of basically taking advertising dollars and putting it into networking dollars, but treating it as if it's advertising. You need the whole explanation. I just messaged Rich. I guarantee you he'll agree to hop on here.
For sure.
And we'll talk we'll just grill him on that, because I haven't shut the fuck up about what Rich said at that seminar. I've said that to literally everyone I've talked to.
Mm-hmm. Up to Joey Franks real quick. Can I outsource HoneyBook workflows to the Philippines? I'm actually doing it right now, but we built the workflows. So the building of the workflows could be outsourced. I don't know that, but I would recommend you build the workflows, and then all the tasks can then be done by someone in the Philippines, which is what we're doing currently. We're hiring someone to do that.
Yeah, Well, Rick told me earlier, because one of the deal breakers for me hiring a VA is I need that role to talk on the phone to a sale. Like, I need them to be able to call a lead and make a sale.
I'm hiring them for Greensboro Holiday Lights to do quoting and sales and calls.
And if they have an accent, I mean, as you guys know, if you call customer support and it's Google and it's like some foreign, if it's some foreign, you're like, ugh, like this is gonna be hard as fuck. So I can't have that for wedding brides buying their wedding vendors. Anyways, but Rick basically said he found a VA with no accent, and so that kind of opened my eyes to that.
And we didn't even specify that in our thing, but like the 3 guys we had on today, that in our final interview, we were supposed to have 4 and only 3 showed up. One of them, heavy accent, definitely was not. Also, we didn't like him in general. The other 2, they were younger and had barely any, if any, like. Their English was so fluent that if you closed your eyes, you couldn't tell.
Right. And that's exactly what I want.
You might be able to tell that they have some sort of heritage from another country, but they sound like they've been Americanized.
It's not that serious.
No,
if there's
no,
a hint of a, it's not
a
like
hint.
I'm not trying to fucking be a racist here, you know. But but you have to be able to clearly speak English and it not be a question of, you know, if
we weren't even hiring for that parameter, and they were very well fluent, but you could tell that recruitment company that, hey, I need someone that's really fluent in English, and they're going to bring you 4 candidates that are really fluent in English.
I'll ask you more about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new questions.
People are curious. Whenever we start talking on a tangent about a thing, it generates new questions, I swear, every time.
Good.
If I was good at editing, I do good logs. Dustin, you don't have to be good at editing. There's this wonderful thing called AI and outsourcing. You can outsource your editing to people all over the place. I do it myself. I don't edit my videos.
Also, he's asked a bunch of decent questions. So, would you rather train a DJ from the ground up, or
oh yeah, that's up there,
or someone to already have DJ experience? I mean, it depends on your current situation and how quickly you need a DJ. Like, of course, I would rather teach a DJ ground up because it's gonna you're gonna have a duplicate of yourself. And that quality-wise is unmatchable.
I would think it depends. You know, I'm actually a little heartbroken with that subject a little bit because I trained a DJ from the ground up, and I got my 3 years out of him. But he was young, and DJing's not the career path he chose.
And he chose to go do meth.
No. He chose to be.
Oh, that was
he chose
mine.
He chose to take over his family car dealership and make thousands of dollars a day. I don't blame him.
That's a tune we can all sing.
Yeah, we can all agree. If we were in that boat, I would take that job too. So can't complain. But you know, I remember someone at DJC was talking about it. If you're hiring a DJ that has a family, they are probably going to be one of the most loyal DJs you ever have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, Brian Bass, which I'm surprised he's not in the chat right now, is fantastic. You know?
And they talked about how, and maybe it was actually, whatchamacallit last week.
He has a full-time job. The last thing he has time to do is push his DJ rates through the roof by marketing and focusing on all that.
Yeah, and not only that, just the way they treat the job.
Right.
They're going to be more mature about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And treat it more like but yeah.
Well, not like a little shithead kid. And when starting company, you recommend LLC or S Corp? Honestly, like, it depends on where you're at and your situation. I know that I actually don't understand it to the fullest extent, and I hate to even talk about tax shit because I don't. But I know as an LLC, I was allowed to write off a section of my rent.
Correct.
Or my mortgage at the time. Now, as an S Corp, I can no longer do that, and
because you're an employee now of the company.
So it just depends on your situation on what's more beneficial. Most likely, an S Corp will be more beneficial if you're running a multi-op DJ company. But yet again, not 100% sure.
I'll give the quick 2 reasons for both, or the quick 2 differences of both of them, just real quick in general. And I've already lost the first one. God damn it. So the tax side of things, the way it works. Oh, the rule of thumb. Andy told me, and he probably told you the same thing. Until you make $40,000 in profit, it makes sense to stay in LLC. Once you make $40,000 or more in profit, net profit, down to the bottom of the line profit, you can switch to an S Corp because it's going to be more beneficial when it comes to, it's just the percentages and taxes and just in general the fees
it's just
for filing or higher.
In which way they tax you as an S Corp, you come out on top.
The fees, the fees and the filing fee. The filing fees and the tax or the IRS side of fees is both higher for S Corp than it is for LLC. LLC passes directly to your end of the year statement as a personal person. S Corp, there's a separate filing just for the business. That's one difference. The second difference that you need to know, and this is the biggest thing to know, as a person, you have income tax, you have Social Security, all that bullshit, and you
Medicare.
have self-employment tax as a business owner. So you have the triple whammy, which basically ends up being, for most people, around 40% to 50%, sometimes as low as 35%. As an LLC, all profit, you are taxed at that amount. All profit. As an S Corp, you now have the option to take a salary along with the profit. So I can take a salary. So say the company makes $100,000 in profit. As an S Corp, I can take $50,000 as a salary and $50,000 as net profit. That $50,000 salary gets taxed at that high amount. That $50,000 in net profit will only get taxed at income only. So that'll end up being your income bracket at like 25% on average.
You got to be cautious giving these specific tax details because it might vary state by state.
Well, your state tax is
Also,
different regardless.
Homie might not even be in the U.S.
Well, David, I'm pretty sure maybe is whatever. That in the United States of America, that is how it works. It does not matter.
This is all where Rick lives. Let's just say that.
It doesn't matter what state you live in. That
You
I'm
never
talking
know.
federal. I'm talking federal.
Okay.
Your state and local tax also applies regardless, and it is different in all different areas. But on the federal level, because people move to like Florida and shit because there's no, or Texas because there's no state income tax. Everybody's getting motherfucking federal taxes from the IRS. It's just the name of the game.
All right.
David's in Pennsylvania, so yes, that does apply.
Yeah. LED robot suits is an upsell. I have a buddy that does it. I think it's stupid.
I think it's stupid too.
If I had gotten a bunch of questions for it, maybe, but I've never been asked about it in my life. So I'd probably add sparklers and dancing on a cloud and monogram and a bunch of other shit before I even considered that. I get questions about a lot of other shit way more than that.
Hey, does Dallas have a salary yet in your business?
No.
Are you paying him?
Not yet.
You need to talk to Andy about that.
Yeah.
You could also pay Rachel too.
I know. Yeah. We'll yeah.
For childcare.
UK across the pond. How did you get into club parties? What got you into them? And how easy was it for you?
Wait, who asked club parties? Oh, listening to UK.
So my dad owned a remix company, record label, whatever, record pool. And when I started DJing, I just basically name dropped him to some people that were older DJs, and they got all excited and let me have gigs, even though I wasn't qualified. And that's how I got in.
I never really did club. I was more, I went as a mobile DJ and pitched the idea of creating an event to a bar owner, and then I created a club
Built
night.
a night.
I built a club night out of a bar, so way different.
If I was good with editing, I'd do gig logs. You can hire
Outsource
people
it.
for very, very cheap to do your editing.
King, am I still pushing Sound Switch? I need my Lights DMX. Absolutely. We are still pushing Sound Switch. The problem is Marcellus is the one that did all of it, so I don't push it as much because I don't actually know it. But if you go to bowflightingusa.com, you can schedule with Marcellus, and he can explain all the details for you. But it's what I use for my lighting. What are the best parts about your DJ setup? How quick it is the setup.
Most difficult track you've ever tried to mix into a set. It's always the same ones. First, Hey Ya. Always so
that's a hard
weird. Yellow Card Ocean Avenue is also weird because it's not in any kind of 16 beat thing. And then
I think September's hard to mix in.
no, not at all. That's insane. I can't even believe you said that. Why?
No, not the okay. Energy.
Oh,
My problem is energy because it's at 125 and like it doesn't have 125 energy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Oh, that's me.
yeah,
I always hate trying to mix
it's not as hype as it's supposed to be. I
Yeah,
do agree.
that's
It
what I'm
doesn't
saying,
have
like,
that,
it's
fucking punch you in the face.
because it's. Do you remember?
Right, and it's like low
And it's
key.
like everyone's like, Oh.
Yeah, I play. I'm sure you do too, but maybe Scooter's
Yeah,
Club
it's
Edit.
a edit.
It's just got like the drums hyped up a little bit. And what is that Joe Budden song? You remember that guy?
I know the name.
It's obviously
I'm
not Biden, but
I'm not sure what song we're talking about though. I know the name,
it's like
the artist.
What is that fucking song? It's another.
Put in the comments.
It's another super popular rap song that is not like the intro is really weird. Another one is "In the Club" by 50 Cent because the downbeat, the one, you know, 1 2 3 4, the one doesn't even have a noise. It's blank.
I can't remember what edit it is, but it's a transition track 125 to 90 down to "In the Club." Works. It's like the only version I play now because it's so much easier to mix it in.
I have a drop in where it's just like a Jew, and then it drops 50 Cent.
Yeah, yeah. If you try to drop it on the one, it's actually really difficult.
Yeah, it's weird. Hey Ya, and Yellow Card are two very difficult intros because of that same type of shit.
Should I answer Mr. Joey Frank's question up here?
Let's roll through them.
How do you get a DJ business rolling with a day job, and was my boss ever on to me and give me crap about it? Absolutely to all of it. Like, it was, I was literally doing the work at the job, and I was getting shit. Like, taking phone calls and stuff, and people gave me shit about it. I didn't give a fuck. I just, I played the avenue. I was really good at my job. I was really good at hiding it, and more or less, I was really good at my job, so my boss didn't give me as much shit, but he teased me about it all the fucking time. Or like, harass me about like working and stuff like that. But it's just, you know what you're working for at the end of the day and where you're trying to take your thing. And if you believe in your leaving your day job as much as I did, you put that shit forward and you do with what you can. First album you ever bought that you still like to play them?
Honestly, I'm like kind of too young for buying albums. I might be too. I bought CDs, but like I think the last CD I ever bought, I was in 7th or 8th grade, and it was the 8 Mile soundtrack.
Can I say Shrek 2, the soundtrack?
Hey, banger
disc.
Banger. I don't even fucking... Dude, all the Shrek soundtracks are fucking awesome.
That's like the only disc that comes to mind that I'm like, oh yeah, I had that one. TV booths. No, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think they're too bulky. And plus then adds...
Pump It Up, Joe Budden. That's it.
Oh.
I knew Jay Book in for the save.
Hey, Jay Book in the house.
He knows what I'm fucking talking about, too. That is a very difficult song to bring in at the right time.
If your DJ gear could talk, what embarrassing track would you admit you love playing every time we touch?
I said it. 1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton.
Ooh, no, mine's Every Time We Touch.
I love that song. I'm not embarrassed at all that I love that song. That is the most hype song ever.
Maybe Skater Boy then.
That's such a ballin' song also.
But, like, I don't know.
I mean, if you're embarrassed, sure, whatever. I'm just not. Vanessa Carlton's a little embarrassing.
I like that song as well. But so I don't but I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed at any song.
I'm not really embarrassed about any. It's honestly a question earlier. It was like, if you were to DJ any set, what genre would you play? And a true the most exciting set I could possibly play is if there were just no limits. I don't care, and I need a crowd in order for this to be fun for me. Mm-hmm. But if the crowd is vibing with me, no matter anything, any genre, I need to play hard-ass rap music all the way to like fucking 1950s music, all the way to, I don't even know. But you got to rock with anything I drop. It'll be good, but that would be the set, is just a truly open format set.
I think we all would love that, to be able to do that in a way.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if I were to choose any set that I would want to play, it would be that. No rules. That's it.
Speaking of sets, if you guys want to hear DJs actually playing on New Year's Eve instead of the stupid broadcast, unless you guys are DJing somewhere, if you are DJing, have fun, have a blast. But New Year's Eve, on my YouTube channel. We're doing an awesome live stream. We're going to have myself DJing. Maybe I can convince J Book to drive up here and DJ. We'll see. Marcel's DJing, Shout is DJing. We are going to have the whole FSL squad DJing live on New Year's Eve in a boiler room setup here in my house. We're already looking at like having maybe 100-something people at our house. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, we're going to be live streaming on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 1 a.m. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fun. Come join in. Try to get Eric to DJ it, but
I want to.
Eric's got some, the baby, the wifey.
Yep, I got
not working out.
Family New Year's, so I won't be there.
They should do that thing where they play last year's New Year's ball drop early at like 9 p.m. so everybody can go home early.
Mm-hmm. Favorite Wu-Tang memory is everyone's this old dirty bastard. Chill out.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is our last official podcast of 2023. We will see you guys in 2024, not on the first day after New Year's, because that is like literally the day after our giant party, and it's going to be insane. So we'll see you back on the 9th, Tuesday, January 9th. So we're going to be off for a couple weeks, and we may have a guest. We may not have a guest. So stay tuned on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, at the DJ Life Podcast, all sources, or follow Mr. Erik Massengale on his platforms, Facebook preferably.
I'll start a YouTube channel. I'll come out with some gig logs.
Nah, you just need to change your Instagram to that dude in glasses.
Yeah, something like that.
It's probably taken, honestly. And then you can follow me as well if you want to learn more about it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for an amazing year on the podcast, getting us over to 1,000 subscribers. What's the goal? 5,000 by the end of next year?
What?
Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Follow us on all sources, and we'll see you guys in 2024. Good night.